In this video, I want to share with you my wealth strategy and my plan to make $100 million over the next 10 years. I'm making this video for all my entrepreneurs out there, the ones that are running marketing agencies, running high-ticket consulting businesses, coaching businesses that want to do this the right way and also want to get wealthy while running your business. So I want to share with you my plan and my strategy and how you can adapt it to yours and get wealthy and get rich for sure instead of getting rich quick. Now, if you're new to the channel and don't know who I am, my name is Mitch and I run a consulting business called Executive Advantage where we help high-ticket businesses scale to 100K a month in under 6 months. And I make these videos because it's my mission to help 100,000 entrepreneurs reach 1 million and create 1 billion in success stories and alter the trajectory of your family tree. Now, the first step in my personal wealth strategy is to keep increasing my active income. And so you have active income and you have passive income. Most people think about, just generating passive income. And I'll tell you, you should not be focused on passive income. And so my plan is to increase my active income, and I do that through a cash flowing business. So my consulting business, Executive Advantage, is a cash flowing business. And these businesses, so if you run a marketing agency or you run a high ticket consulting business or coaching or like an info product business, these businesses, the main function of this, and I really want you to understand this and write this down, the main function of this is to generate cash flow, is to produce profit. And so if you're running these businesses and they're running at small margins or you're trying to scale it and obviously your margins are going to be diminished, I will tell you this, focus on profit and don't worry too much about the revenue figures, because you could do $60,000 a month in cash collected and you could be doing $40,000 a month in profit. Someone else could be doing $100,000 or $200,000 a month in cash, but they're maybe doing $20,000 a month in profit. So you tell me who you'd rather be. And so that is the main function. And what I've noticed is that sometimes you get too caught up in the revenue figures like I did early on and just focus on, keep pushing revenue figures, but your margins will suffer. And if you don't keep your focus and your attention on the bottom line, it's not going to be fruitful. And so these businesses, the main function is to generate cash flow, to generate profit, okay? And so that is my first strategy, is to get my business, personally, I want to get this business to about 3 million a year in profit. So I want to do about 6 million in revenue and about 3 million profit. So I want to operate at 50% margins. That's my personal goal. And I used to have this goal. I think it's easy to look at other people or look at other people in the industry and, take their goals, right? So you see everybody do 100K a month, or, even what we help our clients do is get to 100K a month. Really, I want to get you to 100K a month profit, right? But, you see other people getting to 1 million a month or whatever the case may be, and you start to adopt those as your goal. And so then your goal becomes 1 million a month or whatever. And then you lose sight of what you really care about, what you really want. And so I had this realization, what do I really want? I want profit. I want to generate client results, and I want to have my peace of mind and also do the things and live the life that I want to live, right? Have the freedom to travel, do whatever. And so for me, I want to get this business, my business personally, to about 3 million a year in profit, again, around 6 million in revenue, so that I can, feel and fund my other process in the growth strategy I'm walking through now. And so that's my main goal, is just to get to 3 million a year in profit. And if I can do more than that, great. But that's the first objective, is just 3 million a year in profit. And so right now I have a very lean team of about 6 people. And so my plan is to put everybody on profit share. So we're sharing the profit, and everybody in the company is going to feel like an owner, feel like they're part of the business because they are, and they get a share of that just like I would too. So I'd be just like them, getting profit share. And so that's my objective, is to get everybody on profit share. And to get the business to 1 to 3 million, even like 5 million a year in profit, it's very simple. Really, you just need a really strong traffic source. Like right now we use YouTube ads. We train our clients on how to use YouTube ads. You need about 1 to 3 sales reps, and you need a client success manager, and then yourself or someone to run the marketing and the sales, right? And so that's really all you need. You need just basically 5 people to do 1 to 3 million a year in profit. You can just scale that up. Again, any sales rep you add, if you can do it profitably, especially with the advertising front, or you can get other organic traffic sources, it's just going to contribute to profit. So that's the first step in my personal wealth strategy, just get my cash flow business to about 3 million a year in profit. Now, the next step in my personal wealth strategy is to then take the profits from my cash flow business and to store it in cash reserves. And so it's really key to have cash reserves. And early on, I've always known this, but I've made over $4 million over the past 4 years. And I'll tell you this, just full transparency, I don't personally have $1 million in cash personally, right? And so I've made a lot of money. Again, it depends on the margins that if you're running your business. And so personally, I don't have $1 million. I invest and reinvest everything back into the business. And so for me right now, my goal is just to get at least 1 mil stacked in cash reserves, just to hold it and also give me peace of mind. Because one of my mentors said, he's like, your goal should get to $1 million in cash reserves minimum, so that you'll have more balls in business, you'll have more confidence, and you're gonna have more peace of mind, so that you're not stressing about things, because your expenses are covered for at least 6 months to a year, especially depending depending on what your burn rate is in your business and in your personal life. You just got to calculate that. But he said getting at least $1 million in cash will give you that peace of mind. So that's my personal goal, to get at least $1 million, stack at least $1 million, but really a couple mil in cash reserves through the cash flow business, to just stack and hold in cash. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, don't hold in cash, inflation, all this stuff, but I will tell you right now is the best time to hold cash reserves, because everything's going to be on sale very, very soon. Businesses are going to be going on sale. Assets are going to be going on sale. Crypto's going to be going on sale. Everything. And I'll tell you this, over the next like 1 to 5 years, there's going to be massive opportunities for you to really build wealth. So that's going to be the next step, which is you're going to be investing these cash reserves and the cash flow from your cash flow business. So your agency, your coaching, your consulting business. And once you have the stacked cash reserves, you're going to be generating free cash flow, and you're going to have the reserves to invest in the third step, which is my personal plan, growth assets. And so these are also what I would refer to as more like active investments. So active investments or growth assets can be things like stocks, crypto, indexes. But really what my main plan is, and part of my wealth strategy, is to invest into asset businesses. And so one of the best asset businesses that I personally think you can run and that has a high upside is a software business. And so right now I love creating great products. So does my business partner. He's very technical. Right now I'm building a SaaS company. I won't talk too much about it. You'll hear about it in the next couple months. Don't talk, I just do. But that is my main plan, to then invest the cash reserves so that the profits I generate from my cash flow business, so my step one, so I have at least $1 million that I can deploy into hiring people or whatever the case, investing into the business because it's an asset that will grow. Two, obviously the cash flow to then reinvest back into the business to fuel that growth and get that off the ground, because I plan to 100% bootstrap it, so I won't take any investors' capital, and I plan to bootstrap that. And with software businesses, they have way bigger multiples. They have like a 10 to 15x multiple, especially right now with the way the whole market is. But I will see in the coming years, it still will have at least like a 10x multiple. So you get a business to like 10 million in annual recurring revenue, which would be my goal with this business, is at least between 10 million and 100 million in annual recurring revenue. That's the goal. And to be a valuation of about 100 to $1 billion in valuation. And then maybe plan to like, sell a piece of the stock, or maybe, sell pieces of the business, or maybe exit the business, sell the full business, IPO, whatever the case may be. I don't know if I would take it public. I'd probably keep it still private. Maybe just sell some shares and cash out some of the capital and still keep a percentage of the equity in the business. Not too sure on that right now, but that is my plan to then scale and build my wealth to get to that 100 to 1 billion. That's my plan personally. I know other people like to invest into real estate, into stocks, into whatever the case may be. But I would say that for a growth asset, if you can really invest into a growth business, like a business that can actually grow and has a high valuation, those are also really good. So investing into a growth asset doesn't have to be a software business. It can be other businesses, but use this as a growth asset because you could eventually maybe sell it, and you're building the equity within the business. So you want to build equity through the business, and so you can eventually maybe sell pieces of it and cash out. So that's my personal plan with really my long-term vision, because I love building businesses. I love building great products. And so that is my personal plan to get wealthy. I would plan to just use this business, fuel it between 3 million and 5 million in profit, to then feed into this software business to take to 100 to a billion. And who knows, maybe even tens of billions. But that is my plan to get wealthy. And the last step, number 4, is I plan to also put it into safe assets, or what I would refer to as passive investments. And so personally, what I want to do is I want to build a compound on a lake and bring my family there as well, have them houses on lakes as well, on the same lake. So I'm bringing family closer. I'm also in nature because I love nature. I love lakes. I love wakeboarding, and I love all of that stuff, right? Jet skiing. So I want to build a compound, and I want to store portions of my wealth in real estate, and also potentially even invest into real estate syndicates. So apartment buildings, I have some really my good friends. They run real estate syndicates where they have investors invest into, and they buy cash flow apartment buildings that cash flow every single month. And so that's another one of my personal goals, is to eventually invest into that, so that I have real estate that's cash flowing as well, that pays for all my basically my living expenses, and then everything beyond that is just generating the wealth for the long term. And so the last piece of it is like safe assets, passive investments that I can obviously grow my wealth with, and just store it in there and just hold it for the long term. So that's what I want to do, is I want to build a compound and store it into that. And so that is my personal wealth strategy and how I plan to make 100 to $1 billion. Really, I'm putting a lot of my chips into my actual businesses as well, because I love building businesses. Again, this business with coaching, consulting, marketing agencies, info product businesses, selling courses online, these types of businesses are best used for cash flow and profit to then invest into other areas, right? Like real estate, like other businesses to grow. You know, I think a lot of people want to scale it to like 10, 20, 30, 50 million, and you definitely can do that. But I would say that sometimes your margins will suffer from profit, but also at high volumes, if your margins are even small, you're still going to generate millions a year in profit. But I would say if you want to have peace of mind, you want to have just like a simple business, and you want to also have free time to actually go and live your life, then building a business with a very lean team, about, you know, six people, maybe 10 people max on your team, and you can then also, you know, generate that free cash flow to invest into your growth assets, your safe assets, and your passive and active investments. That is really where you can grow long term. So that's my personal plan. If you want to learn more about what I would refer to as Mitch G's billionaire triad, I have another video which you can check out here, so you can go check that out. I detail my entire billionaire triad, again, how I plan to get wealthy, and I detail this in a little bit more detail and how you should look at it and how you can frame it. So if you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and also comment your biggest takeaway below. I reply to every single comment, so comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. And so hopefully you found massive value in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.